I'm Mary.
Together we are momentary, and this is plugged in and turned on live.
As you can tell, I'm sure by this. I hope
it's also
that
very, very hot.
it's exceptionally hot. As you can see, we've got the doors open. Do you like this? I've organised this. You've started adding some additions to our summer house, which is very exciting, because this is the finale of our first ever season of Plugged In and Turned On, and I think it's been a great success.
It's been fun.
We've had a good time. Yeah, I mean, how do you define the success? Is the
exactly.
Who defines that? Who chooses? I don't know. But we choose to do this, and we chose to do 13 episodes, and this is the 13th.
We did, yes.
So it's the end of season 1.
Yes.
Okay, and you're going to finish it off.
Season finale.
Season finale.
Always an exciting one. And boy, do I have a thing to bring for you.
I can see there's something in a paper bag this time, which is a little bit different. What is it? What is there? Padded bag size 4.
So, there's actually 2 things in here, but there's the first one. I hope that you realise what's the first one to take out.
Okay. This is going to be a bit...
I was so excited about this.
Have I got any clues to know which is the first one? Because they're 2 different things. One is round. The other is not round. Which do I take? Is that just a guess?
The non-round one.
Non-round. Well, there you go. There's a clue. It seems metal. Oh, you found it!
Right!
The little birdie! Oh, where did you find it?
So it turned out that I had put my extra precious things in the wardrobe of the bedroom I was staying in at my parents' house. When we moved, like when we went to Thailand, I obviously like the things most precious to me. So why is this precious to me?
This reminds you of our Kelly, doesn't it?
But okay. So the weird story behind this. This is a
front seat view.
A bird statue, a tiny bird statue that I had on my shelf, like in my bedroom shelf when I was a teenager. Someone brought it back from Wales. And it was a gift. It's made out of Welsh slate. So this was sitting on my bedroom shelf for so many years. But I moved to Thailand.
So this is all before the birds began.
Right. Well, this is the weird thing that you may not know, viewers. So when I moved to Thailand, a year and a half after I moved to Thailand, one of my rescue dogs brought something to me. He came running up to the house, and he had something in his mouth, and I thought it was a dried toad because the ground was always covered in like squashed dried toads, right?
A bit like cats
from people like hitting them with their motorbikes and stuff, because there was a little lake in my estate where I lived. So there's loads of toads around. So I thought that's what it was. But it turned out that it was this tiny baby bird. Like it was about the size of like this big. It was like just sat in the middle of my hand, right?
Like kind of the same as the bottom. That size.
If that even. Yeah, probably about that. Okay, let's say this.
Interestingly, it's made from Welsh slate.
Yeah, I said
sure
that.
You know that.
So then it was this. It didn't even have feathers. I didn't know what to do with it. It kind of looked like a blob. It looked like I had a broken neck, and I was just freaking out. Like, oh my goodness, what do I do? Had a look round, and there was a bird's nest, and the other sibling. There was 2 other little ones, and they were dead. And the nest must have come down. But this tiny thing was still alive, and I didn't know what to do. And I sat on my step outside my house to tell me what to do. And then I heard just so clearly, feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Anyway, so feed the birds, right? So I was like,
okay. It's a little how Kelly could sing.
Maybe it was her voice coming to my mind. Anyway, so yeah. So that's why I used eyebrow tweezers That was the idea that I personally had, was to use eyebrow tweezers to mimic a beak.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Soaked dog biscuits in water to make them soft and cut off tiny little pieces because the beak was so small. Anyway, that first night was so scary. I didn't know if it was going to live. Woke up at like 5 the next morning and it was still alive. So then proceeded my feeding every 20 minutes, like
20 minutes. So you took R. Kelly to your drawer at school. You're doing that in the middle of lessons, or were you a head teacher at this point?
No. I just started teaching in nursery,
Oh
so
God.
this little nest box
This
is
is
in
with
my
little
desk
bird
drawer.
children, and then actually a physical tiny bird that is dependent on you completely, right?
Yeah, and I couldn't tell the kids because like some 2-year-olds are very like grabby and squishy in their hands, and
But yeah, so, I mean,
keep it
fast forwarding all that time, you became a bird lady, didn't you? It wasn't the only bird that kind of was.
But so the really crazy thing is, so I ended up saving 5 baby birds while I lived in Thailand. But the only one that imprinted on me and that lived with me for her whole life was the bird I named Our Kelly. Our Kelly, like, you know, like they say up north, Our Tom. But it was like meant to be like R. Kelly because I wanted her to believe that she could fly. Anyway, this is basically an exact statue, size, beak, shape, everything of what Al Kelly looked like. And when I came back to the UK, I'm going to try not to get emotional. When I came back to the UK and like unpacked my things from my mum's and found this, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that it was a statue of Al Kelly that I'd had growing up. Like, how did it was another reminder of like, time appears to happen in a linear sense to us, but maybe it doesn't. And maybe some things are destined, or I don't know, but how do you explain that?
I don't know, but yeah, there are things like that in life, aren't there, where odd things kind of seem to have kind of prefaced things that happen kind of in the present. You're like, well, that kind of happened before, so then it makes sense. And the thing where things happen and then you understand what they mean later on.
Yeah.
It's odd, isn't it? It's a funny thing.
There's so many things like that have happened.
But it's one of those like magical things that kind of is just you almost want it to be left as magic, right? Like you're never going to contemplate how it works or what it is.
But in stories,
special,
when that happens, they call it foreshadowing. You know how they're like, oh, that was foreshadowing that. But that actually happens in real life.
You do have foreshadows if you have 4 lights pointing at you. And often on the pitch, if they've got lights above, it kind of...
Why do you think they call it foreshadowing?
Because it's before. It's a shadow that happens before, obviously. Yeah.
Before.
It's the easiest question you've ever asked me.
He knew an answer to a question. He knows lots of answers.
Right, so it's 8 minutes in. We have got to this stage. We obviously haven't got comments and things open because this is the first time we've tried this live thing. We were panicking around a bit. But let's get to this next part. So we're kind of...
There's just like another little add-on to that.
Okay. So a bird and a ball. A spherical... No, it's more of an egg. It's an egg, but with a little pokey bit at the bottom. It's an egg, but with little feathers. So are these Al Kelly's feathers?
Yeah, I think there's one in there from Morris.
Morris too. As well, because you had Son, Morris, Al Kelly, and
Bee Gees.
Bee Gees, great name. You're good at naming things. And
Stevie.
Stevie, 5 birds in total.
You know why Bee Gees, don't you?
Of course, yeah.
Staying alive.
There you go. Give your bird a positive mantra, make it a song, and I was going to try and rhyme something with mantra, but it's too hard.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
right.
That's my special.
Very, very nice. So,
beloved bird
really
feathers.
cool. And I mean, I love to keep all sorts of things, so it's very nice. And these are really special. There's a little shell in there.
Oh yeah, that's what do you call them? Shiva's eye that I found on the beach.
A Shiva's eye, so a kind of.
Ooh, put these on.
This is quite a grubby surface, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my sister bought me that in Thailand with these jelly beans. They were jelly beans. It was a birthday jelly bean egg.
Ah, so the jelly.
That became I was like,
it's
okay,
very special.
Because I had to transport this back from Thailand to
Excellent.
England.
I'm really glad that you have all these things, because that's been something that we've been wondering about, and actually something we mentioned maybe in a previous video of Plugged In and Turned On. I said the thing about, did you find the bird? And I don't remember when I said those words,
So
but
you
maybe
were
it was
foreshadowing.
foreshadowed from before.
Yeah.
And I think that there is a knock at the door.
Oh.
So we have just 3 minutes left. We are actually, I think, going to be punctual for this one.
Okay.
Because we set out, let's look after that. Oh, nice rainbow reflection. Very, very nice. You hold the egg. You're the mother.
The holder of the egg.
Yeah. So we obviously concluding this season. We've had a great time. It's been nice to see things grow. It's been nice to see new things happening, getting used to kind of our new space. We're going to come straight in. We put in the comments about, what was it, Psychologists, there's a special term for when people feel really upset having been watching a series, binging on a series on Netflix, and it finishing.
We get that, like...
You get that a lot. I don't know I get it as much.
You-
Oh, no, I do sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
You miss something.
When you really love something and you really love the characters,
Yeah.
you definitely have that moment afterwards where you're like, my life feels empty without
That's
them.
right. So we hope that you are not going to feel empty by this ending, but it's not really, because it's just going to start again next week. But it may be that we have some other things to kind of come along. We've got a few other ideas for the summer, musicians, special guests, things like that. We're really, really excited for what's going to happen next week. So watch this space, and hopefully there'll be lots of other creative content like it. Any other thoughts?
Well, I was just really going to say, like, what's been your favourite episode?
I think I've liked them all. I mean, I've really liked the process of this. We've kind of gone on a journey, haven't we, of making our beer songs, spending a lot of time editing, arguing, me getting in a fuss and things like that, spending hours kind of editing things that maybe don't matter as much.
Yeah.
Possibly did that a bit this morning with posting at the beginning anyway. But these videos mean we record 13 minutes, we watch, we upload it.
Yeah.
And here we don't even have to upload because it's just
Okay,
happening.
what's your most memorable episode then?
Well,
if you're going to dodge that question?
no, I'm not dodging. I was getting, it's just kind of filling the space. But I really liked filling this space, and I had a good idea for how we can do that in the future. You know, where you decorate an episode. I think that was a really good highlight.
Oh, you like the Wigan one?
Yeah, I like the variety. I like flicking through our videos and seeing the different things that have happened, and I love that they're kind of about what's happened that day.
Do you know
The
what
summer
my favourite one is? Because
the king. All of the things.
what does that say? What does the time say?
That says 12:41.
Okay, so I think that my favourite episode was probably the King's coronation one,
Yeah.
because it was just so funny.
Oh, to get the thing
yeah,
back to sleep.
I didn't know that you had to call
I can't believe.
yourself
Watch that one back. That's number 2 or 3. I had these straight arms, but Mary thinks that's how I move.
Also,
and it's very normal.
Probably,
That's weird.
like, I also really loved the first episode with the Dead Sea Mud.
Yes.
The song, everything.
That's
I
our
loved about
highest
that,
viewed
yeah.
Video as well.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
180.
And I also
Big dance.
loved interviewing Naomi too. Even
Yes,
though
Naomi
I could
Sutherland.
not get my words out.
And those songs are out now, aren't they?
Yeah.
The book hasn't been released, but the songs are on Spotify. Naomi Sutherland.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Another great song.
and other great songs. Yeah.
So we will be returning for season 2 with many more very exciting things.
We will. If you have any requests or anything to add, let us know. We've been Tom and Mary. Thank you for watching.
We still are. I still am.
Yeah,
You
we've
still
been
are. Plugged in, turned on. Come back for season 2.
How do we stop this? That's how you
Press
focus. Well, ow, there.
There's the button. The stop
Are you sure
button.
you want to stop screaming?
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.